Oh, dear.
Your call, please.
Operator, I've been dialing Murray Hill 40098 now for the last 3/4 of an hour, and the line is always busy. I don't see how it could be busy that long. Will you try it for me?
1 moment, please.
I don't see how it could be busy all this time. It's my husband's office. He's working late tonight, and I'm all alone here in the house. My health is very poor, and I've been feeling so nervous all day.
Ringing Murray Hill 40098.
Hello?
Hello? Hello, is Mr. Stevenson there?
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello? George?
Yes, sir. This is George speaking.
Hello? Who's this? What number am I calling, please?
I'm here with our client.
Oh, good. Is everything okay?
What?
Is the coast clear for tonight?
Yes, George. He says to get there in about 15 minutes.
Okay. Okay.
You know the address?
Yes, I know. At 11 o'clock, the private patrolman goes around to the bar on 2nd Avenue for a beer.
That's right. 11 o'clock.
Okay.
The lights are all out downstairs and... What's that? Just a minute, George. Oh, our client tells me that at 11:15 a train crosses a bridge. It makes a noise in case her window is open and she should scream.
Okay.
Hello? Hello, what number is this,
Okay.
please?
That's 11:15, the train.
Yeah. Do you remember everything else, George?
Yes. I'll make it quick. As little blood as possible. Because our client does not wish to make her suffer long.
That's right. You'd use a knife?
Yes.
What?
A knife will be okay. And then afterwards I remove the rings and bracelets and the jewelry in the bureau drawer. Because our client wishes it to look like simple robbery. Don't worry. Everything's okay. I never...
Oh, how awful. How unspeakably awful. Oh,
Your call, please.
Operator, I've just been cut off.
I'm sorry. What number were you calling?
Why, it was supposed to be Murray Hill 40098, but it wasn't. Some wires must have got crossed. I was cut into a wrong number, and I just heard the most dreadful thing, something about a murder. And, Operator, you'll simply have to retrace that call at once.
I beg your pardon? I don't like...
I know it was a wrong number, and I had no business listening, but these two men, they were cold-blooded fiends, and they were going to murder somebody, some poor innocent woman who was all alone in a house near a bridge, and we've got to stop them. We've just got to.
What number are you calling, please?
Well, that doesn't matter. This was a wrong number, and you dialed it for me, and we've got to find out what it was immediately.
What number did you call?
Oh, why are you so stupid?
I'll connect you with the chief
Oh,
operator.
I think it's perfectly shameful. Now, look, I told you to try Murray Hill 40098 for me, and you dialed it, but your finger must have slipped, and I was connected with some other number, and I could hear them, but they couldn't hear me. Now, I simply fail to see why you couldn't make that same mistake again on purpose. Why you couldn't try to dial Murray Hill 40098 in the same sort of careless way.
Murray Hill 40098. I will try to get it for you.
Well, thank you.
I am sorry, Murray Hill 40098 is busy. I will call you in 20 minutes.
Operator! Operator!
Your
Operator!
call, please.
You didn't try to get that wrong number at all. I asked you explicitly, and all you did was dial correctly.
I am sorry.
Now, I want to trace that call. It's my civic duty, and it's your civic duty to trace that call and apprehend those dangerous killers. And if you won't...
I will connect you with the chief operator.
Oh, well, very well. Please do. So much time to get anyone.
This is the chief operator.
Chief operator, I want you to trace a call, a telephone call, immediately. I don't know where it came from or who was making it, but it's absolutely necessary that it be tracked down because it was about a murder that someone's planning. A terrible, cold-blooded murder of a poor innocent woman tonight at 11:15.
I see.
Now, can you trace it for me? Can you track down those men?
May I have your name, please?
Mrs. Stevenson, Mrs. Albert Stevenson. But listen,
And your telephone number,
Plaza
please.
32099. But if you go on wasting all this time...
Why do you want this call traced, please?
Why? Oh, no reason. I mean, I merely felt very strongly that something ought to be done about it. These men sounded like killers. They're dangerous. They're going to murder this woman at 11:15 tonight, and I thought the police ought to know.
Have you reported this to the police?
Well, no, not yet.
You want this call checked purely as a private individual?
Yes, but meanwhile...
I'm sorry, Mrs. Stevenson, but I'm afraid we couldn't make this check for you and trace the call just on your say-so. As a private individual, we'd have
Oh,
to check...
for heaven's sake. You mean to tell me I can't report that there's going to be a murder without getting tied up in all this red tape? Why, it's perfectly idiotic. Oh, Call the police.
Well, you see, madam, if...
Oh, ridiculous. I never heard of such nonsense. Police department. I can't see why you have to go through all this business. Oh, wait.
Your call, please.
The police department. Get me the police department, please.
Thank you. Ringing the police department.
Oh, dear, do you have to dial? Can't you ring them direct? All this time wait. You can't.
Police station, precinct 43, Sergeant Martin.
Police department. This is Mrs. Stevenson, Mrs. Elberts, my Stevenson, 5353 North Sutton Place. I'm calling up to report a murder.
Huh?
I mean, the murder hasn't been committed yet, but I just overheard plans for it over the telephone over a wrong number that the operator gave me.
Yes, ma'am.
Two men were talking, and they were going to murder some woman at 11:15 tonight. She lived in a house near a bridge. Are you listening to me?
Yes, ma'am.
And there was a private patrolman on the street. He was going to go around for a beer on 2nd Avenue, and there was some third man, a client, who was paying to have this poor woman murdered. They were going to take her rings and bracelets and use a knife. Well, it's unnerved me dreadfully, and I'm not well. I'm very...
I see. What's your name, ma'am?
Mrs. Stevenson, Mrs. Albert Stevenson.
And your address?
53 North Sutton Place. That's near a bridge, the Queensboro Bridge, you know, and we have a private patrolman on our street, and 2nd Avenue
And,
is the next street.
what was that number you were calling?
Murray Hill 40098. But that wasn't the number I overheard. I mean, Murray Hill 40098 is my husband's office. He's working late tonight, and his line was busy, and I was trying to reach him to ask him to come home. I'm an invalid, you know, and it's the maid's night off, and
we'll look into it, Mrs. Stevens.
Well, the whole thing calls for a search, a complete and thorough search of the whole city. I'm very near the bridge, and I'm not far from 2nd Avenue, and I know I'd feel a whole lot better if you sent around a radio car to this neighborhood at once.
Well, what makes you think the murder is going to be committed in your neighborhood, ma'am?
Well, I don't know, only the coincidence is so horrible. It's 2nd Avenue and the patrolman, the bridge.
Well, this ain't the only 2nd Avenue in the whole world, you know, ma'am. Maybe it was a long-distance call you overheard.
And maybe it wasn't. I'm all alone and very nervous. My maid Eloise, she's a big girl. She weighs 200 pounds. She's too lazy to bring up my breakfast tray. Her night out, and my husband Albert, he's just crazy about me. He just adores me. He waits on me hand and foot. He's scarcely left my side since I took sick 12 years ago.
Yeah,
He's
lady, we'll take care of it.
well-
Just now, I've got a couple of other matters here on my desk that require immediate attention.
But-
Good night, ma'am.
Oh.
Thank you.
Oh, you idiot! You stupid! Oh, why doesn't Albert come home? Why doesn't he? I'll try the operator again. Can't even... Oh, why doesn't she go?
Your call, please.
Operator, for heaven's sake, will you ring that Murray Hill 40098 number again? I can't think what's keeping him so long.
I will try it for you.
Well, try. I don't see... Oh, it makes me so nervous. I don't see why he doesn't answer. Oh, my...
I'm sorry, Murray Hill 40098 is busy. I will call
I
you.
can hear it. You don't have to tell me. I know it's busy. If I can only get out of this bed for a little while. If I could get a breath of fresh air or just lean out of the window and see the street. Oh, hello? Albert? Hello? 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 Oh, what's the matter with this phone? Hello? Hello? Oh, hello? Hello? Oh, for heaven's sake, who is this? Hello? 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 Trying to call me. What are they trying to do to me? Operator! Operator! Operator!
Your call, please.
Operator, now look, I'm an invalid and I'm very nervous and I'm not supposed to be annoyed much longer.
What seems
The
to
whole
be...
world could be murdered for all you people care, and now my phone keeps ringing and ringing and ringing and ringing every 5 seconds or so, and when I pick it up, there's no one there.
I am sorry. If you will hang up, I will test it for you.
I don't want you to test it for me, and meanwhile, I've got to sit here in my bed suffering every time that phone rings, imagining everything.
I will try to check the trouble for you.
Check it, that's all anybody can do. Oh, what's the use of talking to you? You're so stupid.
Madam, the dial system is automatic. If someone is dialing your number, there is no way to check.
Young woman, I don't know your name, but there are ways of finding you out, and I'm going to report you to your superiors for the most unpardonable... Give me the business office at once.
You may dial that number directly.
Oh, listen here, you... Oh, what's the use? Oh, dear. Oh, for heaven's sake! Hello? Hello? Stop ringing me. Do you hear? Answer me. Who is this? Do you realize you're driving me crazy? Who's calling me? What are you doing it for? Now, stop it, stop it, stop it, I say. If you don't stop ringing me, I'm going to call the police. You hear?
Hello? Hello? Is this Plaza 32099?
Oh, yes. Yes, I'm sorry. This is Plaza 32099.
This is Western Union. I have a telegram here for Mrs. Elbert Stevenson.
Oh.
Is there anyone there to receive the message?
I am Mrs. Stevenson.
The telegram is as follows. Mrs. Elbert Stevenson, 53 North Sutton Place, New York, New York. Darling, terribly sorry. Tried to get you for last hour, but line busy. Leaving for Boston 11 p.m. tonight on urgent business. Back tomorrow afternoon. Keep happy. Love, signed Elbert.
Oh, no.
Do you wish us to deliver a copy of the message?
No. No, thank you.
Thank you, madam. Good night.
Good night. Oh, Albert. Albert, how could you? How could you? When you knew I was going to be alone. If I'm alone one more second, I'll go mad. I don't care what he says or what the expense is. I'm a sick woman. I'm entitled to a little consideration.
This is information. May I help you?
I want the telephone number of Henchley Hospital.
Henchley Hospital? Do you have the street address?
No, it's somewhere in the 70s. It's a very small, private, and exclusive hospital where I had my appendix out 2 years ago. Henchley, H-E-N-T.
One moment, please.
Well, please hurry. And please, what is the time?
You may find out the time by dialing Meridian 71212.
Oh, for heaven's sake, I've no time to be dialing.
The number of Henchley Hospital is Butterfield 89970. Henchley Hospital, good evening.
Nurses registry.
Who was it you wished to speak to?
I want the nurses registry at once. I want a trained nurse. I want to hire her immediately for the night.
I see. And what is the nature of the case, madam?
Nerves. I'm very nervous. I need soothing and companionship. You see, my husband is away, and
Have you been recommended to us by any doctor in particular, madam?
No, but I was a patient in your hospital 2 years ago, and after all, I do expect to pay this person for attending me.
We quite understand that, madam.
Well...
But registered nurses are very scarce just now, and our superintendent has asked us to send people out only on cases where the physician in charge feels it is absolutely necessary.
Well, it is absolutely necessary. I'm a sick woman. I'm very upset, very. I'm alone in this house, and I'm an invalid, and tonight I overheard a telephone conversation that upset me dreadfully. A woman is going to be murdered when a train... And in fact, if someone doesn't come at once, I'm afraid I'll go out of my mind.
I see. Well, I'll speak to Miss Phillips as soon as she comes in.
Miss Phillips?
And what is your name, madam?
When do you expect her in?
I really couldn't say. She went out to supper at 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock? But it's not 11 yet. Oh, where is my clock? Oh, my clock has stopped. I thought it was running down. What time is it?
Just 14 minutes past 11.
What was that?
What was what, madam?
That clicked just now in my own telephone as though someone has lifted the receiver off the hook of the extension telephone downstairs.
I didn't hear it, madam. Now, about this...
I did. There's someone in this house, someone downstairs in the kitchen, and they're listening to me now. They're in the... I won't pick it up. I won't let them hear me. I'll be quiet. They'll think... Oh, but if I don't call someone now, when they're still down there, there'll be no time. I've got to get that operator. I've got to get that operator. Oh, please answer me. Please answer me. Please.
your call, please?
Operator, I'm in desperate trouble.
I am sorry, I cannot hear you. Please speak louder.
I don't dare. There's someone listening. Can you hear me now?
I am sorry.
But you've got to hear me. Oh, please, you've got to help me. There's someone in this house. Someone who's going to murder me. And you've got to get in touch with it. There it is. Did you hear it? He's put it down. He's put down the extension phone. He's coming up. He's coming up the stairs. Give me the police department. Give me the police department. Oh, please.
One moment, please. I will connect you.
I can hear him. Hurry. Hurry, please. Please. Oh. What are you going to do to me? Oh, I haven't done anything. Oh, please don't do anything to me. I haven't done anything. You come near me.
Police Department, Precinct 43, Sergeant Martin speaking. Police Department, Precinct 43, Sergeant Martin speaking. Police Department.
Police Department? I'm sorry. Must have got the wrong number. Don't worry. Everything's okay.